All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. April 21st, we got 3 NBA playoff games to jump into. Today, we're going to jump into the Hawks hosting the Celtics, the Knicks hosting the Cavs, and the Timberwolves hosting the Nuggets. All game threes here in the NBA playoffs. We're going to go into each and every game here. Give you my lean on the spread, give you my lean on the total, but all my final plays will be in the pinned comment, and I update that throughout the day as I place those plays and lock them in. So if you want to ride with me or if you want to fade me, those plays will be in the pinned comment. Make sure to check that out, guys. We're coming off a 1-1 night. We had the over in the Sixers and Nets game, and then we had the Suns money line, which was our win. That over in the Sixers and Nets, man, was that a roller coaster. They went on spurts of scoring a bunch of points, and all of a sudden it would slow down. A couple different ejections, kind of took the wind out of the sails, but nonetheless, we got to be better than a 1-1 night. These last 3 days of NBA have been kind of tough. We go 2-0, and then all of a sudden we follow it up with an 0-2, and then a 1-1 night. So yeah, couple days removed from that mini sweep, but let's go ahead and mini sweep or sweep today, depending on how many plays we throw in here. And we're starting it off with the Celtics taking on the Hawks. But first, make sure you guys do go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well, and get some comments down there. Let me know what you guys are rolling with in today's games. I'm reading all comments, and I've been loving the support as of late, so definitely appreciate that. We hit 22,000 subscribers yesterday. Cannot say thank you enough for that either. So yeah, things are good right now, but let's win some damn plays, guys. Hawks taking on the Celtics right now. Hawks +5 at home here in game 3 of the series. Total is sitting at 228 as of right now. Celtics have won both games here by plenty. They win 112-99 in game 1, and then game 2 they win 119-106. So needless to say, I am going to lean towards the Celtics. I am a Celtics fan. I'm not being biased here, but I am going to lean towards the Celtics. They have shown, that they can beat this Hawks team. Not with their eyes closed. The Hawks do come back and claw back, but the Celtics team has been very dominant. So I don't know why, we would overreact and say, oh, well, the Hawks are home. Now they're getting 5 points. Like, no, if this was an 8.5, 9-point spread, I would think about that. But this is a 5-point spread. I think the Celtics can totally do that. So I'm going to lean towards the Celtics here on the spread. In terms of the total, 228. Now, we've been getting absolutely burned and roasted with taking overs in some of these playoff games. But I think that this one is an over type game. I think the Hawks know that they're defensively not going to stop the Celtics. Cut and dry, point blank, black and white. There's no gray here. The Hawks will not beat the Celtics if they don't, try and keep up with them offensively, meaning they're going to have to push the pace. Trae Young's going to get going. DeJounte Murray is going to have to get going. They're not going to beat the Celtics in a defensive back and forth game. So I am going to lean towards the over in this game as well. I like the Celtics -5 and the over 228. Also, I've seen 5.5 and 228.5 on a bunch of sportsbooks out there. So if you could still get 5 and 228 like we have here, I definitely would pull the trigger sooner rather than later. All right, next game, we got the Knicks taking on the Cavs here. Knicks 2-point favorites at home. Total sitting at 211.5. We'll start with the total here. This is one where I'd be like, oh my God, it's got to go over, right? It's got to go over. It is such a low total. Last game, 107-90. First game, 101-97. These two teams are at each other's throats, playing a very grinded out type game, no matter who is in the driver's seat. So I am going to lean towards the under. It might be a psycho alarm worthy lean because that is such a low total. But again, these two first games have been super low scoring, 216 total and then 214.5 total were the lines, and both still managed to hit the under there. So we're going to lean towards the under in this one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stomach making that a final play because it is so low. But where I kind of come out here, and I don't know if I'm questioning myself or maybe I should be fading myself, but I'm going to lean Knicks -2. I've seen -1 on a lot of sportsbooks as well. So if we can get that number, we'll pull the trigger there. But they are favorites. I don't know if I agree that they should be favorites, but I think that they can win this game altogether. And I do think that, them coming home after getting punched in the mouth game 2, they punched Cleveland in the mouth game 1. It's like that type of, this could be a very back and forth series. If we were doing some sort of like series audit or whatnot, I do think that the Cavs win this series. I think they are the better team. They have more talent, even though Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson are incredible. I do think that this Cavs team has more talent. But this is a Knicks spot. That's what I'll say. This is a Knicks spot for them. So if we can get them at -1, I definitely would take that. Knicks money line is going to be my lean. And then I already talked about the total, guys. That under is scary to pull the trigger on, but if I'm going to take a pick on this game in terms of a total, it is going to be the under, which is very scary. But all the math and trends and data show that it should be the case. You have two very defensive-minded teams playing one another. 211, it's a crazy number, but I'm gonna lean towards the under. And then our last game on the slate. This hasn't been a great series thus far. We have the T-Wolves taking on the Nuggets here. Timberwolves getting 2.5 points as they return to Minnesota here. Total at 223 in this one. I like the over first and foremost. I think that this is a game that, you know, the Timberwolves kind of, I would say, similar to what we said about the Hawks. This Timberwolves team is not going to be able to play at Denver's pace and beat them, right? They kind of upped the tempo and made it a closer game last game out. They still lost by 9 points, but almost covered there. You know, they're only 8-point dogs. I think they were 8.5 at one point. They lose by 9, so they did almost come back and cover that game. I do think that they realized, okay, if we want this to be a close series or a close game, we have to play with a little bit more of an up-tempo pace. So I'm going to lean towards the over here first and foremost. And then in terms of a spread, I still think that these two teams are, you know, they're far away from each other in terms of talent right now. So the fact that we can get Denver at -2.5, probably only have to pay like -125 if we want them on the money line or something like that either. I think that that could be a good play as well. But this Denver team, there's no reason why I should be fading them and jumping over to the Timberwolves just yet. Very, very similar situation to the Celtics and Hawks series. If I see the Timberwolves come out and win this game, then sure, that will prove to me that I have to reconsider that sort of, oh, well, they're just a better team, right? But while they're just a better team, we don't need to totally overthink it, especially when the numbers and data are backing the Nuggets. It's not like I'm just like, oh, caveman, they better team, they gonna win. No. Everything says the Nuggets should win this game, and they have been winning the series. So, you know, we don't need to overthink it or find that spot. What I do like, again, more than probably the side here, is the over in this game. But I'm going to lean towards Denver minus the 2.5 points, but also them money line if that's the case as well. And guys, that's going to wrap it up for the video. Quick one. These NBA playoff ones are quick, especially because we can't really dwell on the same, you know, differences of teams. It's like some of the breakdowns are going to be the same as last game, right? But all we have is one game of more recent data and whatnot to dive into. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. Hit that like button if you do, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.